Hello, BKFK listeners. It's time for a huge happy birthday to Everly. And another monumental happy birthday to Joseph. And one more birthday to the daughter of the author of this week's episode. Happy birthday, Nev! We wish you the happiest birthdays ever. Today's episode is very special. We are bringing you a story by Tim de Roche. The story is from his new book, Tales of Whimsy, Verses of Woe, a book of cautionary verse and other nonsense. Before we get to hear the story, let's find out a bit more about it from Tim. And also, very importantly, keep listening after the story to hear a surprise challenge that I set for Tim, and to find out about how you can win one of his books in our competition. Hello, Tim. Please tell us, what is a cautionary tale?
Cautionary verse it's kind of a version of nonsense verse. So these are a wonderful genre of poetry, of poems, that goes back to Lewis Carroll, who wrote Alice in Wonderland. It goes to Shel Silverstein, Roald Dahl. If you love these folks, hopefully you'll love this book, because these are playful poems with twist endings. I have young kids. We have a couple early copies of the book in our house, and it's been so much fun to have the kids say, "Hey, Daddy, will you read to us from your book?" And to see them laugh at these poems that I wrote.
The story that we are about to hear is called My Father to Save. Before Ruby and the BKFK kids bring it to life, can you give us a little taste of what to expect in this story?
Well, this is a heroic story of a young boy asked to go on an adventure, or told that he must go on an adventure by a wizard, and it doesn't turn out how he expects. So it's a grand, heroic tale, and I really had a lot of fun writing this one.
I'm not going to give it away, but it has an untraditional approach to monsters, which is very much what we like at BKFK.
Yeah, and I want to remark on that. I am so honored to be here, Dan. We have been fans of By Kids for Kids for so long. My wife found the podcast, and my kids beg to listen to By Kids for Kids. We load up our phones before we leave on a road trip, and what you guys do to bring these stories to life. I love when you take traditional folk tales from around the world and just bring them to life with this wonderful audio production. The kids have such wonderful voices, and I just think as a parent, the stories you tell your kids are so important. Like, stories you tell them, it's what's going to ignite wonder in them and get them excited about reading, and it's going to ignite their sense of humor. I'm just a huge fan of By Kids for Kids, and so I'm honored that you guys decided to produce My Father to Save, and obviously honored to talk to you about the book.
And we're honored to have you on the show. Okay, let's give it a listen. After the story, we'll be back with more from Tim, and little does he know it, but we'll be giving him a surprise challenge.
All right, I'm excited for that.
This episode was performed by
Timothy Pang from Singapore, and I'm 9 years old. I like to swim.
Hi, my name is Ivy. I live in Canada and I'm 9 years old. I have 2 brothers and 1 dog.
Hi, my name is Anna. I'm 9 years old. I love cats and I live in Seattle, Washington.
Hello, I'm Kyle. I'm from Singapore. I am 13 years old and I like to sketch and cycle.
Well done, guys. You did an excellent job. Okay, Ruby, over to you.
My Father to Save.
In the end, it is you who must stand alone.
Said the wizard whose wisdom was widely known.
Your father, the king, has been brutally slain. But wallow not in your sorrow and pain. Instead, form a crew of 7 men brave. Lead you they will to the lair of the beast, who made of your father a holiday feast. For the beast make that lair a horrible grave.
To the height of a man I was not yet grown, and to acts of heroism I had not been prone. I had little to lose, even less to gain, and yet my fate seemed simple and plain. I followed the steps that the wizard gave. I chose 7 knights, brave in thought and in deed, especially Sir Gareth, who was given to lead our valiant crew to the beast in his cave. To the cave Sir Gareth our way had shown, and as we approached, there came a low moan, as from a man feeling terrible pain. Perhaps our trip had not been in vain. Perhaps my father could still be saved.
Hurry!
I cried.
My father is in need. From the lair of the beast. He must be freed.
And I ran toward the ominous mouth of the cave. But Sir Gareth shouted,
The fight is your own, and you must earn the right to your father's throne. Let the words of the wizard ring loud in your brain. While you go to fight, out here we remain.
To my crew, I offered a half-hearted wave, thinking to myself,
Is there really a need? The words of a crazy old wizard to heed? To what kind of prophecy have I become slave?
Into the dark I wandered alone, following the sounds of that hideous groan. And when my anger could not be contained, I yelled to the beast,
Prepare to be slain!
But only a whimper came back from the cave. And then a surprise, yes indeed, for the beast shouted out, and for mercy did plead.
Please do not hurt me, for I am not brave.
I yelled my reply to the darkness and stone.
To the height of a man, I may not yet be grown, but no mercy have I, not even a grain, for one who inflicts so much sorrow and pain. One of 2 things do I eagerly crave. One is to see my dearest father freed. The other, to see your mortal wounds bleed. So, yellow beast, can my father be saved?
I'm sorry. I thought you had known. I saw the king die beneath a great falling stone. With all of my strength did I push and strain, but the rock was too heavy. My power did wane. After I failed, I crawled back to my cave, and now all through the day do I suffer and weep, for the king was not ready for eternal sleep, and my pitiful weakness could not be forgave.
Now, 30 years later, I sit at my throne, and all through my kingdom I let it be known that the nosy old wizard is well nigh insane. As long as I o'er the kingdom do reign, Sir Gareth will stand by the mouth of the cave, protecting my friend, the good-hearted beast, who deserves my love and respect at the least. For he tried with his might my father to save.
Okay, we're back. Tim, great story. Now, the listeners can't see them, but the illustrations are really amazing. Tell us a bit about the illustrator.
Yeah, so Daniel's one of my best friends. He illustrated my first book. I wrote a modern-day retelling of the classic Huckleberry Finn. He brought these poems to life in a really incredible way, and from now on, I'm never going to be able to think about these poems separate from Daniel's illustrations. I really encourage folks to check him out, and he's just a very, very talented artist in his own right. So really excited to get kids to see this incredible art by this person who I've really come to respect. Daniel has incredible attention to detail, and he has this joyful approach, and the joy ends up in the page on the illustration. Funny.
Yes, I'm feeling the spirit of Roald Dahl's Quentin Blake and Edmund Lear.
Yeah, you can really have a lot of fun, and the illustrations bring the text to life. There are limitations to words. Words can only do so much, and just a little bit of a picture can really help spark your imagination.
And sometimes a little bit of sound, too.
Yeah, exactly. So you guys are masters of that.
Tim, who is the appropriate audience for this book?
These poems are really meant for a very broad audience. I think some of the poems are very sweet and sentimental. Some of the poems have a little bit more of an edge. I think that they're really appropriate for kids of any age and even adults. What I've realized is that kids will find the poems that feel right for them. If it's not right for their age, it kind of just passes over them. There's a poem that mentions farting, and the young kids love the poem that mentions farting, right? They just go bananas for that poem. The older kids, maybe, they roll their eyes.
Now I'm going to reveal the surprise challenge.
All right, I'm ready.
You write rhyming stories, and so do I.
You do. Wonderful rhyming stories.
Thank you. So we are going to write a little poem together right now.
All right.
I'll give you a line, and you give me the next, and so on.
All right.
Are you up for it?
I'm up for it. Let's try it.
Great. I will give you the benefit of choosing the topic.
A trip to outer space.
Ooh, a trip to outer space. We've been dying to do a space story. Okay, let's do it. On the planet of Zog, in a green, smelly bog,
there lay in the mud a sweaty old hog.
Its green skin was scaly and covered with bristles.
She rolls over, scratches her head, and whistles.
From way up above, a creature came flying
and appeared to be headed straight toward where she was lying.
The hog saw it coming and leapt in the air.
But she saw too late that it was a 17,000-ton bear.
That's perfect. Well done, Tim. Okay, Tim, where can our listeners find Tales of Whimsy versus of Woe?
The book is available right now, I'm happy to say. We decided to launch the book in late January to honor Lewis Carroll's birthday. Lewis Carroll is the author of Alice in Wonderland and really a godfather of the nonsense poetry genre. He wrote the wonderful Jabberwock poem. We actually have a parody of that poem in our book. So yeah, we're very excited. The book is available now. We've been working on this for years. So excited to have it out in the world, and we'd love any feedback from By Kids for Kids listeners. You guys are great fans of storytelling, and we would love to hear what you make of the book. And we'll have an audio book, I'm proud to announce, produced by the By Kids for Kids team. So very excited to get that out into the world.
Yay!
Yay!
Okay, listeners, Tim has very kindly offered to give away 10 of his books to 10 clever BKFK listeners. All you need to do is answer one question and send your answer to bkfkstorytime@gmail.com. That's bkfkstorytime@gmail.com. Tim, what is the question?
The question is, what was the name of the knight who led the quest to find the beast in the poem My Father to Save?
Thank you, Tim. It was such a pleasure having you on our show.
Thanks so much, Dan. A privilege to be here.
Hey guys, if you like this episode, please share it with your friends and family. It is one of the best ways to support BKFK Storytime.